What's up? The video cut out in mid-sentence, but what I was saying in the last video is that what I miss about growing up in the early 90s, 2000s. As a kid, we used to go camping a lot. And sometimes there was times we would camp inside with our friends. Other times we would camp outside, but I was saying, dang, I forgot. When we were kids, most of my friends were females, and that's one of the things I miss about growing up. You used to be able to trust your kids. At the age of, you could let your kids spend night with girl best friends at the age of 11 and 12 and stuff like that, and not be worried about anything. Now in today's society, your little 12-year-old boy is going to go mess around with little kids. You don't want them, or little girls, you don't want them around that, or little girls going with little boys. It's just crazy. You can't trust kids now. It's just... And a lot of it has to do with the parents. There's a lot of it that has to do with the kids, and there's a lot of it that has to do with the parents. There are some times where kids do it just because they do it. It's just what they do. And then there's other times it's because the parents don't trust the kids, and it's because the parents assume all of this stuff that the kids just kind of stray away. And it's like, my sister, for example. I love my sister. She's one of the few good things that I have in life right now. Her and my niece, I love them. They're awesome. But my mother and my aunt and everybody, they don't see the same thing. To them, she's just a slut. I'm like, really? That's your daughter? How are you going to judge her like that? And you're not even perfect yourself. I'm not saying she's not a good mother and she's not a good aunt. I'm just saying, you got problems too. How are you going... And now I get getting onto your kids for something, or going like, oh, you... But just because of a mistake, you're going to call them a slut? It really gets on my nerves. And because of that, it's going to put... Now, you shouldn't call your... Oh, because of that one little mistake that happened, that kid's going to rebel, and that kid's going to do it more and more and more, and they're still not a slut. It's just parents, the way they do, it puts the kids in that state where they feel like that's... It gets on my nerves, to be honest. But kids, you used to be able to trust them and go hang out with friends, either if they're opposite sex or not, and be able to trust them, do what they need to do. Now it's just gotten to the point nobody trusts anybody anymore, so kids do it anyways because they're not being trusted. So in order to get away from that, they feel like they need to do it. I know how that is. But we went camping. A lot of us, I had a lot of female best friends. We'd go out in the tent. They put it up inside sometimes because we couldn't go outside. And a lot of times we just couldn't afford the gas to go out into the woods and camp out for a couple weeks and stuff like that on the weekends and stuff like that. So we would set up the tent inside instead. of traveling or doing it outside in our backyard or anything like that. I would set it up inside. And we'd have all our friends over. We'd get the s'mores out. We'd put the s'mores in like a little toaster oven. And I remember this one night we made those taco bowls. Those were amazing. We were camping out inside and we were eating, we were having fun. I was a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Even back then. I was like 8 years old at the time. I was 8. Yeah, 8. I was still a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! One of my other friends, she's a big fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time. I don't know if she still is or not. Her Uncle Chris, he's about the same. He's about 27 or something like that now, I believe. But he's a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! At the time too. He's older than me, but I remember one time we were out there playing in the tent. He wasn't, but he actually gave me a few Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards of his. And we're out there playing in the tent, and we just started kind of laughing and stuff like that, and it was just fun. We used to hang out with our friends all the time. It was pretty much nothing but friends being with each other, either it be spending the night or at each other's house during the day or outside just acting crazy, having fun. It was just us and our friends, man. In the 90s and early 2000s, we did nothing but spend time with our friends. It was just crazy. I miss the way things used to be, and I'm kind of getting a little bit emotional about this. I'm sorry. I really just. I remember we used to go fishing. We go swimming at the lake every single weekend, like every single weekend. Not just 1 or 2 weekends out of the month or one weekend out of the year, or it was every single weekend, literally. We never missed a weekend we went swimming. We go fishing, swimming, all types of stuff like that. Now it's just like, really? And you go down to the creek or river and nobody's out there. Maybe one person fishing. I'm like, what happened? I walk down there a lot and they got this one river closed up. It's still perfectly fine. No pollution, there's nothing dangerous or anything like that. They just got closed up because literally nobody went, so they just closed it up to society because they felt like the only reason why people would go down there was just to be stupid. And try to get away from law or something like I don't know. But yeah, it's just gotten crazy. We used to go out and do all types of stuff. Now you try to go out yourself and there's nobody else out there. It's way less fun than what it used to be. And it's really heartbreaking for the world to come to the way it's come. Another thing I miss about 90s, early 2000s is, what was I gonna say? I done forgot. I forgot. I know I talked about games, I talked about the VHS, I talked about the way friends used to hang out, I talked about the way parents trusted kids more, and Just in general, the 90s and early 2000s, it was fun. I miss it. I miss everything about it. As you can see, every day for me now. This is every day for me now. By myself in a 2-bedroom house. It's just crazy. I remember growing up, my mom, my stepdad, they'd have parties every night. Now, it wasn't like rated R or rated, it wasn't even rated PG-13 parties. Now, they would have, for the adults, they'd have some beer, but they didn't get too out of hand, and it was just having fun and music. It was like just a PG party where some adults would drink beer. I mean, what's the problem with that? Even adults had friends over like every single day, just talking, hanging out. Now, whenever you get two adults in a room that, even if they're related, I was about to say that aren't related, but even if they're related, all it is just drama. People can't talk to each other anymore, and I do feel like it's the social media that's doing that, and the less contact with people. I hate what the world has become. It sucks. I'm not saying the world was perfect back then, but at least it wasn't what it is now. We need to grow up. Us as human beings, we have always been judgmental towards others that were different. There'd be some good ones that aren't judgmental, but there's always been problems with race, sexuality, religion, democracy, communists. Just every belief or everything about people that was different, people had problems with. But there was a time where people could put their problems aside and just, I was just, I miss it. People used to be people, like, the world used to be a better place, and I miss it. There was times where it's been a worse place, but when I was growing up, it was the best place to live in. Nobody hated anybody. Everybody got along. I do not remember ever having a bully. But then middle school and high school hit, and well, late middle school, late middle school, and then high school hit. It's like everybody's rude to everybody. Everybody's. Oh, I know another thing I miss about the 90s and early 2000s. The TV shows, the kid shows. You, they had Teen Titans. They had Dexter's Laboratory, Johnny Bravo. They had My Life as a Teenage Robot. They had Robot Boy. They Cow and Chicken. Ooh, I miss the 90s and early 2000s TV shows. Even on Disney and Nick, you can't find good shows like they used to have. They used to have the Amanda Show, Drake Bell, Wizards of Waverly Place, um, Full House. Another great 90s TV show. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, man. Shows used to be, comedies used to be funny. Dramas used to be dramatic. Actions used to have action. Um, romantic movies used to be romantic. Now it's like the only thing you can find is just TV shows that are remakes of originals that just destroyed your childhood. Rick and Morty. There's nothing funny about that. I mean, I look at it, I'm just like, it doesn't have any action scenes. Now you can say Rick shooting laser pistols at a couple. That is not action. That's just them being stupid. Regular show, that wasn't that good. Robot Chicken. Teen Titans Go. Ben 10 Omniverse. Ben 10 Reboot. What has happened? There's no comedy, there's no action, there's no drama. Every show, no matter what genre it is, needs suspense. You need to be where you cannot predict what is going to happen next. You need to be surprised. None of these shows have suspense. You're always able to know what's going to happen next because it's the same thing every time. Just be like, he's gonna make that funny noise. It's not really that funny. He's gonna shoot that little laser pistol. He's they had so many times people killing themselves in some of these shows. I'm like, in regular shows going like that, beep beep beep, synchronize. It sucks. It really does. I miss 90s and early 2000s TV show. If y'all want to know what real TV is, let me think of a good one. The best one ever. Rocket Power. Look up Rocket Power. That was a great TV show in like the early 2000s. They had, okay, there was Otto, there was Tio, there was I think his name was Scooter or Stez or something like that. It was basically a surfing BMX. It was kids. It was pretty much what my childhood was like, described as that TV show. Everybody was energetic. Everybody was out swimming, surfing, riding bikes, riding skateboards, having fun. And it taught a lot of great. Not only did it have a lot of action, it was comedy, but also it taught a lot of life lessons. Where can you find that in TV shows now? Where can you find friends helping each other out in a TV show? Figure out, hey, it's not cool to bully. They taught a lot of great life lessons that used to get through to us. And it's just not like that anymore. TV sucks. People suck. Society sucks. The government sucks. The government is what sucks most of all. I miss growing up. I hate what life has become. I would not ever see it coming. I did not ever predict this as our future. Social media taking over. No one chilling with friends anymore. Games just being way too easy. People need to grow up. people need to realize what has gone wrong. I did not intend for this video to turn out like this, but the fact that it has, the fact that I'm not saying what I miss about the 90s and early 2000s anymore, the fact that I'm talking about how pathetic life has become with the way social media is, the way people treat other people, the way parents can't trust their kids, the way kids act now. Even if parents can't trust their kids, there's no reason for some of the kids acting the way they do. 12-year-olds joining gangs, trying to beat on their siblings, being completely rude to everybody they're around, thinking it's cool to be in gangs. Specifically one person in general, and then not getting any discipline. I ain't gonna say that one person, which nobody I know watches these videos anyways, but still, just in case somebody I know decides to watch these videos and they see that and they get mad at me because I'm calling this person out on a YouTube video. But I did not intend for this video to turn out like this. I just plan on saying all the things I miss, all of the way technology used to be, the way friends used to be, and stuff like that. I did not intend on ranting on about how life sucks now with the way the world and society has turned out, and that people need change. I did not plan on that. But the fact that I did, even though I didn't intend on it, proves how much this world needs to change. We used to be great. America used to be a great nation. We weren't the best. I do believe there is not a better country than the other. But right now, we are a pathetic country. We're lazy slums that just... We're either lazy and lay on our butts all the time, or we're either working too hard or not working enough. We don't know how to balance our lives. There used to be adults that would go to work 12 hours, come home, and have as much fun as they want, and still have plenty of time to play and stuff before they went to bed. Now it's just, you work, you go home, you sleep. Or you spend all your life playing and never do anything with your life. We don't know how to balance ourselves out anymore. And I try to balance myself out. I try to have a fun and hard-working life. But to be honest, with the way life is, now it's gotten hard to do it. I mean, I still have fun and I still work. But it's getting harder and harder every day to keep it up because the way life is. And life does need to change.